We're about to watch a video where this brother named Teray, who's been on Cap News Network and Nothing But Cap, and he says in this video, there is an exception. There is an appropriate time where a white person can call a colored person the N-word. Let's take a listen.
99.9% of the time, it is wrong for a white person to call a black person the N-word, but we may have found the exception. In Minneapolis recently, a white anti-ICE protester was in a group of anti-ICE protesters yelling at a black ICE Gestapo agent. An unidentified white male called the black ICE agent a house N-word who's working for the KKK. That's right, we have a white man calling a black man the N-word. But this is a little bit different.
When did Teray become the spokesperson for who is black or colored or Negro and who is not, who should be allowed to call a colored person or Negro by a white person the N-word? When did he become the gatekeeper of this issue? Who anointed Teray, for God's sakes, this person to decide who should be called the N-word, when and by who?
This is a little bit different. White on black usage of the N-word is a very serious issue. But this is a curveball example. Is it wrong for a white person to call a black ICE officer a house N-word?
You know what I find more alarming about him making this video is that he actually thought this would pass the smell test. He actually thought people would embrace this. Now, think about Cap News Network and Nothing But Cap and how often they gravitate towards racism. Racism is the Democratic Party's stronghold on our community. They always have to make everything about race. I don't care what it is, they will craft a narrative to make it about race. So now, they tab Teray or not to do this video and to talk about when it is appropriate, when an appropriate time, when is it okay for a white person to call a colored person or a Negro. That's what they called us back in the 60s, y'all. This black African-American stuff we dealing with today wasn't in the mix back in the 60s and early 70s. Keep that in mind as you hear me say that. I'm not pulling a fast one on you. I'm just telling you the real. But this brother actually thought he would get a pass on this issue. The nerve of him.
Let's explore. The white man who used the N-word in this situation was being historically precise. This black ICE agent, he is being a house N-word to the utmost degree. A black man in ICE is a modern house slave. He's a barely paid mule for white supremacy. The KKK were domestic terrorists. ICE is domestic terrorism. I think this is a valid usage of the N-word. He's not attacking his blackness per se. He's attacking his bootlicking choice to be in ICE while being a black man.
I want you to pay close attention to the choice of words Teray uses in this video. Pay close attention to how he's describing this other brother while he describes himself. Don't miss it. Now, he's giving you the definition of what a bootlicker is in the context of why it is cool now, why it is okay for a white person to call a brother the N-word. Do you know how many white people have been stole on for saying that word around a brother? In my lifetime, I don't know about your lifetime, but in my lifetime, especially after Roots came out, you couldn't even think that word. If a brother thought you were thinking that word, he stole on you. For Teray to sit here and say it in the context in which he's saying it, the irony is palpable. It's palpable. He doesn't even realize he's indicting his own self as he believes he's indicting a federal ICE agent, a federal government officer of the law.
While being a black man. Being black in ICE makes you a house N-word. So to call you that, it's almost like a professor pointing out, oh look, there's a modern house N-word. I think this usage is valid and acceptable. If it had just been the N-word, that would be problematic. But when he adds the house N-word, he's being historically realistic. So yes, it is okay to call black ICE agents house N-words. They are.
Do you believe what you just heard? The irony, as I stated, is palpable. You know what else is almost crazier or craziest? What month is this? Think about that. What month is this? And Teray, of all people, the gatekeeper on who is colored, who is Negro, who is black, and what jobs they should hold just to make him and his constituency happy. This brother has lost his cotton-picking mind. Teray, you should be embarrassed. It is embarrassing to see you make this video. It is embarrassing that you actually took the time to waste your time and tell us it is cool for a white person to call a brother the N-word. To my white people out there, don't do it. I don't care how comfortable. Now, Minnesota is a whole different animal. Those folks out there, it's too damn cold probably, and they probably ain't got nothing going on in their life in another perspective. So they just doing anything. They wilding out in Minnesota. The governor's off the chain, the mayor's off the chain, the people off the chain. But to my white people outside of Minnesota, don't try this at home, please.